you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight's show is the last show we actually taped for the season. And starting next week, we'll be re-showing some of the best shows from this year and last year.
Yeah, and since this is the last show of the regular season, we wanted to devote a little time to thanking some of the people who have helped create the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour.
Yeah. For example, every week our show opens and we step out on this Tiffany floor here. And we want you to meet the man who is responsible for this Tiffany floor and the entire look of our show.
Yes, the sets, the whole visual concept. And we really think that he's the finest set designer in all television land.
That's right, he is.
And we are very proud to have him with us. Ladies and gentlemen, our art director, Mr. Romaine Johnson.
Romaine, Tommy and I would like to officially...
Yeah, this is the greatest thing.
It's your brainchild.
It is beautiful. Beautiful. Comments all the time.
Yeah, and Tommy and I want to officially thank you in public for the great job you've done on the show since the inception of the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour.
Yeah, we like to, and we've written, Romaine, you'll probably get a chuckle out of this, and not yet, but we wrote a song for you as a token of our appreciation, and we'd like to sing it for you.
Okay, yeah. Okay, hit it, Nelson. Thank you, Romaine. How about that?
Thank you very much. No, I'd like to thank my assistant, Michael Baugh, and our set decorator, Charlie Kreiner.
Right, they both did a great job.
And to show my appreciation to you fellows, I have designed the ultimate set for the Smothers Brothers.
Oh, wow.
That's
yeah. Great. After working with you fellows for 2 seasons now, I think I have found the perfect setting for the Smothers Brothers.
Oh, good. Can we see it?
Sure.
Okay.
May we have the ultimate set for the Smothers Brothers?
That sounds
Please.
great. I can...
It's the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour. With guest stars Glen Campbell, the Joyce brothers, Matt Paulson, the Jimmy Joyce Singers, the Louis DuPont Dancers, and Nelson Riddle and his orchestra.
Up and down, all day long, over and over. Do you know that the average mother lifts almost a ton of weight every single day? No wonder you end up with a backache so often. For this muscular low back pain, doctors usually prescribe the compound in Anacin. Anacin relieves low back pain to relax tense muscles. Anacin.
When a virus cold hits you, your world can't stop. To keep going, you take aspirin for headache, an antihistamine for runny nose, and a decongestant for stuffiness. But not all 3 of these medications are concentrated in Dristan tablets. So when you can't stop, Dristan helps keep you going.
Honey, I don't know how you do it. And with a virus cold.
Oh, I feel all right now.
Do everything you can do for relief of virus cold miseries, and take Dristan tablets.
No, don't tune out. This is not Laugh-In. This is Roger Carroll for the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour. So, from Television City in Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen, meet the Smothers Brothers.
Down in that box.
Yeah, I want to just say something nice about
It's
Roger.
about time you said something nice.
I want to say something about Roger Carroll. Roger Carroll's been our announcer ever since the show started, and he's
For 2
done
years.
a real great job. And I'd like to share an applause for Roger Carroll.
Now, before we go on with the show, we'd like you to meet our prop man. Now, he's responsible for the handling of all the props and the strange items that we use on the show.
Yeah, stuff like, real weird stuff like breakaway chairs, teapots, bananas and guns, and
funny things.
Probably some of our guests.
Yeah. That's strange. And now, ladies and gentlemen, meet Mr. Ray Sneath. Ray has handled all of the props for the last 2 years, and I must say that he's one of the most conscientious workers that we have on the show. You ask him for something, and right away... I don't want it, Ray. Take it away and glue it. Really, we were going to do a song, but Ray took care of that.
He never did care for us singing anyway.
Yeah, but he is conscientious, and he does generally do a tremendous job like that, keeping this stuff on the show every week.
Yeah. No, now we'd like you to meet another one of the experts who we depend on to give us that old confidence we need every week.
That's right. He's helped us a great deal on this show. He's our choreographer. Ladies and gentlemen, meet Mr. Louis DePron.
Louis, we want to thank you for the great job you've done all season. You know, ladies and gentlemen, he not only routines the dance numbers, but he stages everybody's movements and all the comedy routines and the great big finales, and he's done a great job. He's made it a lot easier for us.
Oh, thank you. It's been a pleasure working with you fellas, and I really enjoy it. It's a challenge and fun.
That's great. Now, we're going to feature the dancers right now, so Louis, why don't you introduce the dancers and the number, okay?
Okay, Dickie. I'd like to present my dancers in a number that I designed strictly to get them out of breath. They'll do this to a Nelson Riddle arrangement of Cabaret. First, we have Nina and Dick. Here are Kate and Mike. Carol and Ronnie. Karen and Mark.
That was just great, so thanks again to Louis and the dancers.
Yes, and of course we'd like to thank the man who helped make that number even more exciting than it actually was. Mr.
That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it was
We'd like to
exciting.
thank a man that helped make that very exciting dance possible, Mr. James E. Brady, our video tape editor.
Right. For a lot of you people who don't know exactly what a videotape editor is, he's the fellow that makes all the trick shots on television possible.
That's right. He can do anything. He can make people appear, disappear, move slower, faster, anything. You know what, Dickie Smothers? Brother?
I guess so.
You know what he can do?
I wouldn't.
Right at this moment, he could make, like he can make over 1,000 beautiful hula dancers appear, you know, like this very second.
That's right. Just watch. Well, what do you say to that?
I think we need a new tape editor.
Now.
I need a new mouth.
Right.
Every year, Motor Trend magazine evaluates all the new cars before naming its Car of the Year. They look for outstanding styling, great engineering, and ingenuity of design. This year, Motor Trend gave Pontiac the Car of the Year award for the 4th time. In fact, Pontiac's the only car maker ever to receive the Car of the Year award 4 times. We suspect the Bumper of the Year had a lot to do with it. Seems like everything those Pontiac engineers touch turns to great.
You probably don't realize how many technicians work behind the scenes to bring you this show every week. I mean, we don't even realize it.
I don't even.
You see some of their names at the end of the show. I mean, looking at the show, you know there's got to be a certain number, but this is ridiculous. You see some of their names at the end of the show on the credits each week. For instance, you'll see
Our technical director, Bob Schultz.
that's right, our audio engineer, Larry Eaton.
Our stage managers, Bill Holbrook. Bill Holbrook. And Jim
And our head grip, wait, Bill has a relatively high voice,
Yeah,
and that's an inside joke, folks.
And our head grip, Neil
What?
Yarrington.
And our head electrician, Larry Long, and our cameramen, Marv Dresser, Jim Riley, Gorm Erickson, and not to forget, #1 camera, Dick Nelson.
Yes, and our sound effects man, Vic Lavoti. And all of these people take care of the technical end of our show, and we'd love to have brought them out here for
Right
you to
now.
see them,
We
but
would love
we
to do
can't
it.
because of technical difficulties.
So let's give all of this a hand. Well, that takes care of our technicians, and now we'd like to go on and do...
What happened?
Oh, I forgot.
What's this?
Our lighting director, George Sham.
Oh, we'll see you later. No, it's not nighttime. You're probably wondering why we're getting on the couch.
I was wondering myself.
Why don't you say why?
Okay, and now we have a different type of technician to present.
That's right, a brother. But this is a brother who wears a dress.
But it's all right, because this brother is Dr. Joyce Brothers, and she's really a sister. And she comes not to our show as an entertainer, but as one of the country's most informed and best qualified and prettiest psychologists. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Joyce Brothers. Dr. Brothers, you know, it's quite a departure for Tommy and I to have someone from your field on the show.
Yes, you see, you're the first head shrinker we've had on the show. Although there's been a lot of them beating on the doors trying to get at us, but there's been no head
She is
shrinker.
she's not a head shrinker.
That term refers to a psychiatrist generally, and as you know, I'm a psychologist.
Right.
Yeah, I know that. It's the same difference, like the difference between a doctor and a cricopractor.
A little bit of the idea what I have to put up with my brother.
I know. I've really been looking forward to this because I must say I find the two of you quite fascinating.
Oh, why is that?
Well, for one thing, I'm intrigued by the fact that you work so well together, although there's obviously quite a lot of sibling rivalry.
Mm-hmm. What are you trying to do, start a problem? I told you to book Dr. Spock.
Right. Well, Dr. Brothers...
My mouth doesn't work. Why is that, Doctor?
Dr. Brothers, what in your opinion would cause a sibling rivalry between my brother and myself?
Well, often with brothers we find this caused by jealousy.
But I'm not jealous of my brother.
And I'm not jealous of Dick.
No.
I like my brother.
Yeah.
Even though as kids, he always had a nice room, and I had to sleep on the back porch. Mom gave him all the good toys. Mom, you got to have a big erector set, and all I had was a little clothespins to play with. That's the truth.
You know,
that isn't funny.
Tom, that's just enough. Doctor, I guess people do things for different reasons. Strange things that are hard to understand. Like, for instance, my brother at the age of, 31 years old. He looks 47, but he's actually 31. All of a sudden, you know, he's had short hair all his life, and all of a sudden he's letting it grow. Now, why would he do
Get
this?
a little longer.
Well, I think many of the young men in the country are letting their hair grow, first of all, because it marks them as the younger generation. It annoys the older folks, so it's a mark of distinction. In the Bible, we've always associated hair with sexual power, and also the idea of...
Well, I guess you must be right. My brother happens to be the exception that proves the rule.
That's very clever.
I know.
I'd like to ask you a question.
She didn't actually finish on that, yeah.
Yeah.
The long hair. And my brother doesn't really belong to the younger generation, though. Is he trying to hold on to this image or something?
Well, I think he's also trying for the image of the intellectual. We have the long hair, and also with the hair thinning on the top, those men who are beginning to lose their hair very frequently have quite a lot of the male hormone in their bloodstreams.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And now I'd like to ask you a question.
Everyone these days seems to have problems, personal, psychological, and otherwise. And so we thought it'd be a good idea right now to let our studio audience right here tell Dr. Brothers their problems. You know, perhaps he can help you.
Yeah, I can be of help, too, because I have a deep insight into human frailties and hang-ups.
Yeah, but you've been around that a lot. My brother, in fact, lives with it day to day. Okay, let's take advantage of our two eminent psychologists, Smothers and Brothers.
Yeah.
Now, go and raise your hand. Anybody?
Why do you remember some dreams when you wake up and others are very confused?
It's possible that the dream that you remember is the last dream of the night. We have about 4 dreams during the night. The earliest ones involve things that are happening near the present time, and then we go back in time to things that happened early in our life, and then we come back to the present, sort of as a diver surfaces again to the world, we come back to our daily world. And very frequently, the one that we remember is the one that happens right before we awake, or the most vivid of the dreams, which has a...
Do you remember many of your dreams?
Very.
What kind do you remember?
I can't say it on the air.
You can't say it on the air? No, you're on a Smothers Brothers show. You can say it. What is it? Yeah, I did have a dream.
Tell him who killed you.
CBS censors got me.
The truth, and they killed him little piece by little piece.
Oh, it was
He
awful.
really
I was carrying on in a dream. I woke up just scared to death and changed my ways, boy.
I haven't seen it.
Hey, this is a pretty funny show.
Oh, if you like to laugh, I guess it is. Yeah.
Do you believe in twins communicating?
There have been some very interesting studies. For example, twins in completely separate rooms where they have taken brainwave tracings, and they found that when one twin closed his eyes, they got a brainwave tracing from another twin, which was indicative of eye closing. And so there may be a good deal more to twin communication than we think, but it is only the very beginning of experimental work.
Can we have the 2 girls? You're twins, are you not? Could you stand up and take a bow? No, what's your name?
Marcy. Jackie.
And how old are you?
16.
15? 16? You will be 16. Do you find that you have some special kind of communications between the two of you sometimes?
When we walk to school, sometimes I'll say something and I won't finish it, and she'll finish it for me. And like sometimes if I hurt myself, about 2 weeks later, she'll hurt herself almost the same way.
Do you have any problems with the same boys?
Yeah. We've traded on dates before.
Have you traded on dates? They
Mostly
didn't.
in school.
They didn't know.
No.
Now they do.
Now they do. They do know.
Blind date, she told me he was very cute, and now I know why she wanted me to trade with him.
You're very pretty. Let's give him a hand, Marcy.
What do you think of the older ladies wearing the mini?
Is there some reason for older women doing it?
I think that any woman who wears a miniskirt and is over 30 years of age has just never looked in a full-length mirror.
I dreamed about you last night. What does that mean?
Depends on what you dreamt.
Do you want me to tell you?
Not here, even on the Smothers Brothers show.
Dr. Brothers, I have a problem here that I've been, I don't know if I should ask you or not.
Oh, please
I feel
do.
embarrassed. Well, the thing is that we've run out of time. We have to do a commercial. Is that all right?
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a warm hand for Dr. Joyce Brothers.
Reynolds Wrap, be kind, your pocketbook days are here. And here I am again, with Giant. This giant-sized roll of Reynolds Wrap gives you 200 feet. 200 feet of pure aluminum foil, equal to 8 regular-sized rolls, at about the price of 6. Like getting 2 regular rolls free. And with 200 feet, think of all the things you can do. Like wrap potatoes for baking, cover leftovers, line broiling pans, wrap presents, freeze with it. There's no end of the things you can do with all-purpose Reynolds Wrap. And with this giant-sized roll, it's like getting 2 rolls of the regular size free. Oh, excuse me. I'd like to buy a roll of giant-sized Reynolds Wrap.
Madam, you just did. Strong, dependable, all-purpose Reynolds Wrap, oven-tempered for flexible strength. Be kind to your pocketbook. Look for special displays of giant-size Reynolds Wrap now.
It's impossible for Tom and I to memorize a full hour of comedy and music each week, so we have to rely a lot on our cue card crew. And before I introduce our next guest, I'd like to thank our cue card crew. And that is Ron Stutheit. Is that right? Ron Stutheit. There, Harry Hirsch, Keith Langdon, Stan Asko, and Larry Rosloff. And without these boys, we just couldn't do the show, really. They do a tremendous job. There's a lot of pressure on them, and they can't afford to make any mistakes. I'll tell you what, in fact, here's what we're going to do. We're going to turn the camera around and shoot the cameras on the cue cards, and we'll show you exactly how it works. Okay, Ron? Ron, you're on camera now. So show them how it works. Thanks a lot, Ron. I guess I took him by surprise, but hey, Ron, get the cards. We'll go ahead with the introduction to Glen Campbell. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, right now I'd like to introduce once again the man from La Mancha, the impossible dream, Glen Campbell. Summer replacement show. The Smothers Brothers comedy show. Sing the most popular song from Broadway's show, young man who is going to be the host for our Becoming a Leading Musical Talent, and tonight he's going to a great singer, a great guitarist, and he's rapidly Glen Campbell.
To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong, to be better far than you are, to try when your arms are too weary to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, and to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. And the world will be better for this, that one man scorned and covered with scars still strove with his last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable star.
We'll be right back with Glen Campbell and Pat Paulson on the second half of the Smothers Comedy Brothers Hour.
We'll be right back with the second half of the Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour, but first, here's two more people who have been very important, not only in this show, but in shows all during the course of our career.
That's right. That's right.
That's right?
That's right.
That's really right.
Yeah. And those two people who were very important to us, Mr. Ken Cragen and Mr. Ken Fritz, are personal managers and business advisors.
One for Tom and Dick, one for us. Two for Tom and Dick, and 1, 2 for us.
3 for Tom and Dick, and 1, 2, 3 for us.
4 for Tom and Dick, and 1, 2, 3, 4 for us.
I think we were overpaying them.
Yes, we'll be right back with their half of the Smothers Comedy Brothers Hour.
Lucky Filters. You don't even have to light it to like it. When you do light up, that same fine Lucky flavor comes through. Mild. Rolled tobacco and charcoal in the filter does it. Nourishes the taste and makes it mild. For a taste this good, you've got to get lucky.
Hey, you know something, Dick?
What?
Well, I was just thinking, I think we ought to thank the American Tobacco Company for staying with the show all the way through, every single one of the...
They're the only sponsor that stayed the whole time.
Every single show, and a lot of good faith to me.
That's right, I agree. Speaking for myself and my brother, we want to thank the American Tobacco Company for sticking with us all the way through.
Let's give them a hand.
Yeah, they're...
Personally, I don't smoke.
I don't
think
smoke
anyone
either,
does.
but I think they're wonderful people to stick with us. Now I think would be a good time to thank our costume designer, Sal Anthony, and his assistant, Helen O'Leary.
That's right. And we couldn't do a show without clothes.
Don't laugh.
We tried, but the censors wouldn't let us.
Yeah.
And speaking of the censors, we'd like to thank our censors. Even though we've had our fights, we've had some good times with them, too. And we'd like to thank our censors, Sam Party Pooper Taylor and Charlie Petty Pettijohn. And we'd like you to meet these men, but they're not here tonight because they're over at the bar across the street entertaining the customers with the jokes they censored out of our show.
And now another exclusive news first. On-the-spot television coverage of a milestone in American political history. Patrick Paulson has announced candidate for the office of the President of the United States, pays a visit to the nation's capital, and we bring you candid reactions of Americans who heard of Paulson's candidacy on a special report by the Smothers Brothers Corporation.
An SBC report. We now take you to the front gate of the White House in Washington, D.C.
Mr. Paulson, we're surprised to find you here lined up outside the White House. Are you going to take the tour?
Well, I didn't receive any invitation, so I thought I'd have to. It's like real estate. Kind of like to look it over a little, like before you buy. You understand? And we're kind of looking forward to going through, seeing what it looks like. The little woman is very interested in looking, seeing what it's like in there. I don't worry. I'm more interested in the affairs of state, of course, and other affairs.
Mrs. Paulson, what are you going to look at when you see the White House?
Well, I'm taking a course in interior decorating, and I just wanted to see how I could apply it here at the White House.
We're going to do the gold room over in Norwegian Modern.
Pat Paulson, the makings of a president. Could this humble man be the next chief executive of our country? And if so, America asks, how does Paulson feel about making his home at the White House?
Mr. Paulson, now that you've toured the White House, what were your impressions?
Yes, we enjoyed going through and looking at it. I sort of feel, though, that seeing one White House, you've seen them all.
Candidate Paulson retraces the steps of the great men who came before him. You can't help but wonder if Lyndon Johnson got his start this way. First stop for Paulson, the historic Potomac River. A champion of economy and government, he throws $50 across the Potomac. A mighty wind-up and no luck. A second try. And then another. $11.50 later, he turns his back on the Potomac. Pat pauses to reflect on his nation's future. One way, says Paulson, there's only one way for America to go, sideways. Step by step, the man of the year retraces the path of history to the famous Lincoln Memorial, where he encounters the inevitable throng of indifferent admirers who respond with ardent apathy as he hands out his campaign buttons. Until a week ago, this young man was a Romney supporter. Now he's solidly in the Paulson camp. Alone with his thoughts, Paulson recalls the words of his idol Abraham Lincoln. The great emancipator looks down upon the candidate as though to say, here is a man for America. Yes, Pat Paulson, that's something to think about. Is this the leader the United States has been calling for? Is this a man Congress could support? One distinguished lawmaker gives his reactions to our reporter.
Senator Kennedy, I suppose you've heard that Pat Paulson is running for the office of president. We understand he's making President Johnson now very nervous. How do you feel about his candidacy?
Well, I think he's a very nice man, and I think that he's come forward and expressed himself on the issues, but I do think that he's looking at his campaign, watching carefully how he's moved. I think he has peaked a little early.
Thank you, Senator.
We ask other concerned citizens this question. What do you think of Pat Paulson for president?
Well, I take an automatic, violent reaction to it. Opposed. I think we have a fine First Lady in the White House as it is, and Pat Paulson is a girl.
The truth is, you see, I don't really know Pat Paulson because I've never seen the show, so I can't really say.
Well, what is your reaction to the announcement of the candidacy of Pat Paulson for President of the United States?
For President of the United States? Pat Paulson?
It's an upsetting and a ridiculous idea that he would run for president, if that's what you're saying. Though, the way things are, he'd probably be a good president.
Pat Paulson turns me on.
Oh, to tell you the truth, I think the chances of Pat Paulson, I would say Harold Stassen has a better chance. Pat Paulson.
So, I wanted to ask you, Pierre, if... Tennessee, I'm hoping you'll back me. I know you've had a lot of successes in the past, and although you haven't always made it, but I'm curious to know if you would be willing to back me.
I think you make a great president of the West Hollywood Rotary Club.
You're not going to go along with it.
I'm going all the way with you for president of the West Hollywood Rotary Club.
Well, there you have it. Backing from Pierre Salander in the Hollywood area. So all you people in Hollywood know that he'll be backing me.
Pat Paulson?
Senator Murphy, could you give me your opinions on the fact that Mr. Pat Paulson now has thrown his hat in the ring as a presidential candidate? What are your feelings about his candidacy?
First of all, I would think that under the conditions this year, he ought to keep a string tied to the hat in case he wants to get it back. Because that track is going to get so crowded, his hat's liable to get tromped on, and he won't be able to find it if he needs it in case he shouldn't get elected. But I do think that it's fine, it's in the American custom, and I hope we have so many candidates that they'll have to run it in 3 events like they did one of the big races at Santa Anita.
Do you feel that Pat Paulson has a good shot at the presidency?
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen him throw any snowballs at photographers in New Hampshire yet, and that's the only way I can gauge the opportunities of the candidates so far. So that's all right. So far, I think that Senator McCarthy is ahead. He seems to have the best slider with a soft snowball.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
And so Americans turn in increasing numbers to this man of the hour, this leader of his people, this humble savior of America's destiny. Pat Paulson, man with his eye on the White House.
Pat Paulson, for president.
Pat is a truly great man.
I hope he gets what he deserves.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, right now I'd like to introduce my beautiful brother, Dick Smothers.
How do you do?
And he's going to sing with his beautiful voice, a beautiful song with a beautiful message.
Thank you very much.
Right after he has his beautiful, your nose, you should have some makeup on your nose.
What do you mean? I was made up before the show.
Same old Dick. My mom always said, don't play with your nose, Dickie. And to this day, you keep playing with your nose.
Not playing, maybe.
Sometimes I swear, Dickie, I just don't know what to do with you.
Where's our makeup man? Steve Goki?
Steve Goki. Let's give Steve a hand. He's our makeup man. Steve, he won't stop playing with his nose.
I'm not playing my nose. I don't know who did it.
While you're at it, would you...
Do Tommy's nose, too.
You go get ready for the song.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, no, you don't. You're not going to do that old red skeleton powder puff in the face gag, are you?
No, of course not.
You said you weren't going to do that stupid Red Skelton?
It wasn't Red Skelton's gang. It was Milton Berle's.
It's a snow job. Anyway, the monster will get you. Anyway, here's my brother singing a lovely song, and he does a great job on it, singing Live for Life.
Come with me, my love, and seize the day and live it fully, live it fast. Never thinking once about tomorrow, till tomorrow's been gone and past. We'll pour the wine and fill the cup of joy and drink it as if it were the last. Live, just live for life. In Paris today, in Amsterdam tomorrow, 60 minutes through the skies. Fly with me to see the setting summer sun, and stay with me to see it rise. And say to those who say to live this way is mad, that mad we'd rather be than wise. Live, just live for life. If you let me, I will lead you through the mystery and wonder of a world you've never known before. Share the splendors to be shared, magic places to explore. Dare the dangers to be dared. Life is all this and more, this and more. Just live for life. Live for
There's a little country in the Middle East with just about the most oil of any place in the world. And therefore just about the most money per person and the most cars per person of any place in the world. But regrettably, very few Volkswagens. With all that oil, who needs a Volkswagen? Because it doesn't take much oil or gas. With all that money, who needs a Volkswagen? Because it doesn't cost much. And with all that parking space, who needs a Volkswagen? Because it's so easy to park. So a country like this doesn't need Volkswagens. But what about an underdeveloped country, like America?
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like you to meet the people without whom the show would never be written, the writers.
The writers have been very, very important. And the writers are those people who write all those things for us to say that they wouldn't be caught dead saying themselves. Just like that thing I said.
Right, but you'd be caught dead saying it. The writers are very, very special, and we like, in fact, as we decided to present them in a very honest and straightforward manner.
Al Gordon.
Hal Goldman.
Sam Barbrick.
Mason Williams.
Alan Blythe.
Ron Clark.
Gene Farmer.
Ted Bergman.
And Jerry Music.
And these two men, Saul Ilson and Ernest Chambers, are the vicious writers. They're very vicious writers. In fact, they'd stab their own joke in the back to get a laugh. They also happen to be the producers of the show.
They're guilty of that. Seriously, folks, if you know the whereabouts of any of these persons, please contact us, because we don't know where they're at.
You know, the major ingredient...
Let's give a hand to all our writers and our producers. Saul and Ernest.
The major ingredient in our show, besides comedy, is music. And we have on our staff, on our show, one of the most sought-after conductors and arrangers, not only in the field of television, but in records and motion pictures as well. He's probably the most famous band leader in show business. His name is Mr. Nelson Riddle. Hey.
You know, all season long, Nelson and the orchestra have worked out of sight. I mean, literally out of sight. Downstairs, off camera, because we felt they could get a better sound when they were down in this little room. But tonight we've brought them up on stage so you can really hear the big band sound and look at them making it. As Johnny Carson will say, okay, ladies and gentlemen, Nelson Riddle and the orchestra playing Brother John. This is our musical consultant, coordinator, arranger, composer, an all-around good guy, Mr. Denny Bond. Denny works with Dick and I, and with the guests, and of course, with our singers, the Jimmy Joyce Singers. And folks, we'd like for you to meet them right now. The Jimmy Joyce Singers, come on. And of course, the big daddy of the show business, the big show business daddy of the Jimmy Joyce Singers, of course, is Mr. Jimmy Joyce. Jimmy. And they're going to sing right now. What is it?
Can't take my eyes off you.
Can't either.
You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you.
You'd be like heaven to touch. I want to hold you so much.
At long last, love has arrived, and I thank God I'm alive.
You're just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you.
But in the way that I stare,
There's nothing else to compare.
the sight of you leaves me weak.
There are no words left to speak.
But if you feel like I feel,
Please let me know that it's real.
you're just too good to be true.
Can't take my eyes off of you.
Trust in me when I say I need you, baby. Don't bring me down, I pray. Oh, pretty baby, now that I found you, stay and let me love you. Baby, let me love you tonight.
Yourself, kids. Your father's gonna brush his teeth again.
With Volt?
Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
Boy, that stuff sure opens your eyes.
And wakes up the whiteness in your smile. It's Vote toothpaste with the icy taste explosion. Vote.
You have a headache. You've taken aspirin. How long before it goes to work? You should have taken Bufferin. Bufferin can cut the time in half. Half the time. That's Bufferin time. Because in the first critical minutes, Bufferin speeds twice as much active pain reliever to your headache as simple aspirin. So Bufferin goes to work in half the time. Half the time. That's Bufferin time.
Thank you, Nelson. You know, you probably don't realize how much work and effort goes into a show like this. I know I don't. But it takes over 125 people working strongly against each other to put this show on the air. And you see some of their names in the credits at the end of the show each week.
Now, if you think some of their names are kind of strange or funny, wait till we show you their faces.
Yeah. Our associate producer, George Sunga.
Our secretaries...
That's me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Our secretaries, Marilyn Briggs and Sue Dobson.
Our production assistants, Phyllis Standish, Jeanette Barnes, and Veronica D.
And our assistant to the producers, Nanette Island.
Yes, and our associate director, Bob Lehendro.
And our director, who can't do anything without making a scene, Stan Harris.
Give him a hand. We'd also like to thank Sam Gary, who contributed a lot to the success of our show.
That's right. And who else did you want to thank once again?
Oh, once again, I want to thank our producers, Saul Elson and Ernie Chambers, who were probably more responsible than anyone for keeping the show and making it a quality show like it was, and we sincerely thank them.
But most of all, it's sort of an old showbiz thing to
Yes,
say,
it
and
is.
it's a little corny, but most
I
of all, we want to
you,
thank...
Dickie.
I mean, that's no... I mean,
Yeah,
not
but I
yet.
want to thank you.
Thank you.
I couldn't have worked with anyone else other than you.
I know, it's in the contract.
You're my brother, though.
We want it, most of
I
all.
want to thank you. You're my brother, boy.
Thank you. Okay, can I go on? Ron's getting nervous again on the cards. Most of all, we want to thank our wonderful audience, without whom the show would have been impossible. Thank you.
And we'd also like to
That's
thank...
a great looking lady.
Beautiful.
Yes.
I'd like to take this opportunity in all sincerity to thank NBC for allowing their Bonanza viewers to be with us this evening.
Of course, we'd like to thank our guests for this week. They were wonderful Dr. Joyce brothers, Glen Campbell, Pat Paulson, and our entire staff.
Right.
Next week is the first of our summer reruns, and our guests will be George Siegel, Nancy Wilson, and Paul Revere and the Raiders. And that was a good show.
It was a good show.
It's a great show. So good night, everybody, and see you next time.
Thanks.
Paulson film provided by station WTOP, Washington, D.C., and edited by Group 1. This is Roger Carroll.
The 7-minute cigarette, it tastes milder. Campbell Gold 100s.
Pell-Mell Gold 100s tastes milder because it's extra long at both ends. More fine tobacco and an extra long filter for greater mildness. Puff for puff tastes milder than ever. Smoke Pell-Mell Gold 100s or Pell-Mell Menthol 100s. Extra long at both ends.
The Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour was brought to you by Pell-Mell Gold 100s, extra long at both ends, so it travels the smoke farther for greater mildness, puff for puff, tastes milder than ever. And Volkswagen, with the new automatic stick shift. It's a simple shift for a simple car.